What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Julien Stoutt. You know, I'm not even going to go through the moniker today. I'm not going to. Because you already know who I am. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know who I am. If you haven't, go back and watch another video of mine so you know who I am. Because it seems a little bit more like I'm telling it to myself as opposed to I'm telling it to you. So here's the deal. You see the title in the thumbnail. And I am going to ask a question. Have you ever experienced failure? Put a 1 in the chat if you experienced failure at any given point in time in your life, including today. If you're watching this video and I don't see a 1 in the chat or in the comment section, I know you're full of crap. I just know it. Either you think you're perfect, meaning you're probably narcissistic, or you are in denial. And here's the deal. When you're in denial, you're drowning. Because you're in a whole body of water that you can't handle and you cannot navigate because you are drowning. If you are in denial, you are drowning. Everybody that watches this video should be putting a 1 in either the chat or in the comment section from now until perpetuity if you're new to watching this channel and this video. Because the illusion that is success is the very reason why many of us really do fail. Now, what do I mean by that? We are going to experience setbacks and failures, right? I'm experiencing them even as we speak. I don't hide from anything. I can't go into many details about it because, number 1, still work there. 2, I want to garner the opportunity to show how much I A, learned, and B, how much I have improved in this past 9 months. The thing is, people I know around me, friends, family, colleagues, are experiencing failure at such a rate that it has become alarming. It's unnerving. And people are experiencing failures in such a way where the fear of the sheer embarrassment of failing prevents them from even wanting to walk into the arena ever again. And when I mean the arena, I'm talking about anything, whether it be education, fitness, politics, anything for that matter. Entertainment, media. Shannon Sharp is experiencing a failure right now. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but he's got a lawsuit, a $50 million lawsuit thrown at him. And that's not what I'm bringing up today. That's not even the nature of the conversation ultimately, because it is going to reroute itself back to fitness. But anybody you know, like, and admire has gone through series of failure. It's just that your favorite person, the person you admire the most, has a really great way of hiding it. They either don't put it out there, or other people keep their mouth shut, or they simply walk around like their shit don't stink. And the truth of the matter is that you have a unique opportunity every single time you fail. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, from a personal perspective, I don't like feeling the feeling of failure. I despise it. I can't stand it. I hate it. But I'm going to tell you something what my superpower is. With all the success that I have garnered over the last 48 years of my existence, with all of the knowledge and skills and accolades and respect that I have garnered in the 48 years that I've walked this earth, it's only the people that know how I failed or has witnessed my failure, who is seeing me right now on this screen, who is hearing me on their radios, who is participating actively in this show, are the only ones that knows who the hell I really am. You know, shout out to my wife, because I have some things in the works that I'm planning on doing. I'm not going to get into specifics of it because I want to get it started and not put it out there, because I don't want to experience the failure of losing the opportunity to be successful. I would rather fail at the endeavor, but not fail because I never got a chance to even go about utilizing this endeavor. Does that make sense? I promise you, you'll know about it soon enough. I will make it known to you when the time is right. But for right now, I'm just going to say I have several ideas in the works. Excuse me, give me 1 second. Yes, back to what I was saying. We have several opportunities coming our way in the near future, and I'm proud of all of the opportunities that are laid out before me. But with failure, the people that know who I am, the people who have seen me in action, have experienced my failures. You want to know why most people can't let go of Michael Jordan? It's because he failed. Even as great as we saw him to be, as great as we knew he would become, or as great as we thought he would become, he failed. But the difference in why he was great is because not only did he get up, but he got up and didn't shrink. He didn't give up on himself. He had to walk with egg on his face, bad taste in his mouth. Every single year from 1984 to 1990, he had to walk with the shame of failure. But when he started succeeding, the reason why he started succeeding is because he learned from his failures, but continued to excel the way we saw him excel in his failures. There is a slew of people out in the world right now that will tell you, fell down, bumped my head. I failed at this. I was terrible at this. I sucked at this. Not very good at this. I mean, all throughout my life. If they're watching this show right now, they can account for that. Anybody who experienced my failures will tell you. And my wife had to do something the other day. And it wasn't, the funny thing was when she said it, she didn't even realize what she was doing. I turned around and I was saying to her, because she was actually, funny story, she was actually saying she would so be happy to be a housewife right now, right? And I turned around and I said to her, help me achieve greatness, and that wish is yours, right? And she turned around and she said to me, you're already great. You see why I married this woman? I mean, seriously. And don't get it twisted. She was not trying to stroke my ego at all. She wasn't trying to placate into the housewifitude that she so longs for at this moment, right? That's not where her mind was. She just stated that I am already great. And I have to say, I didn't get choked up. I didn't get, I didn't want to cry or anything, but I did have a sense of emotion about that statement, because the woman who has seen a high majority of my failures still thinks I'm great. Every time I've skinned my knee, every time I've bumped my head, every time I smashed my elbow, every time I've dislocated my wrist, every time I didn't make the lift, every time I lost a position, every time I walked away from a position, she has been there. And for her to affirm my greatness says a lot. And I'm going to tell you why she affirms my greatness. I already know why she affirms my greatness. Because every single time I've had a setback or a failure, whichever one you want to call it, I get up. I don't stay down for long. I might lick my wounds. I might rub some salt on it. Or I might put some alcohol on it. But I'm going to get back up and I'm going to get on this bike and keep going. I'm being genuinely honest with you. I've always been honest with you, but I'm pulling back some of the curtain for you. Because when you go into your fitness journey, your weight loss journey, your performance journey, your education journey, your academic journey, whatever it is, you're going to experience some shit that is going to put you on your back heels. This Saturday is my last day of school so that I could become a licensed special education teacher. I still have a little bit of things to do before it becomes fully official. But as far as school is concerned, I don't have to step foot into another building after Saturday. For educational purposes. Understand what I'm saying? I think that it's a relief, because with all the experiences that I've had this year, for me to come out the other side says a lot about me. It says a lot about the people that surround me and encourage me and lift me up and push me to be better. My mother, my sister, my brother, my father at times. It's my cousins, my friends. There's a lot of people who have watched me, take these moments and rise above them. Not because I'm superior, but because I have to rise above it. I can't stay down. Torchman respect, absolutely. 90% of victory starts with a failure or a setback. 100%. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you've experienced failure, Torchman. I would appreciate it if you do that for me. But in all seriousness, I did not get to where I am by just winning all the time. When you become fit, the body you are possession of, the body you're in possession of at that moment is a clear indicator of all your failures. Whether you're, as a matter of fact, I stand corrected. Whether you're fit or fat, your failure is on you. If you fail to eat properly, if you fail to exercise, if you fail to take yourself seriously, if you failed to hold yourself accountable, if you fail to have the mindset, you're going to find yourself displaying your failures. Whether you have 15 and a half, 16-inch arms like I do, whether you have 20-inch arms like some professional wrestlers, whether you have, 27-inch thighs or 30-inch thighs, whether you have a 26-inch waist, or whether you have a 42-inch waist, your failure is on your body. The difference is the people who have failed and are proud of their failures show their bodies, expose themselves, and then are letting you know that what I have achieved is through repeated moments of failure. As a matter of fact, when you're working out, your whole objective is to achieve muscle failure. Not to just, oh yeah, I bench press 225. Yeah, you bench press 225. But when did you fail? Are you going to tell everybody when you failed, or are you just going to brag about how you bench press 225? Because guess what? Did you fail on rep 5? Did you fail on rep 6? Did you fail on rep 10? Or if you're some NFL lineman's case, did you fail at rep 48? Did you fail at rep 50? Let us know, where did you fail? Because you failed at some point. But you're lying to everyone else about when you failed. Or you're lying to everybody else that you failed. It's no secret that you're going to experience failure. The point is that when you experience failure is the point to which you have met the challenge. The challenge is there. I have a friend that's challenging me right now to run a relay race. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Your boy don't run anymore. At least not like that. I'm not going to pretend like I don't run. But I'm not running for distance. I don't run for top speed. I don't do all of that. Because my metabolism is such a way that I will lean out so quick it'll make your head spin. If I get active, I will shred out fast. And I like my physicality at this point. I like being around 150, 155, 160 pounds. Only time I will drop down in weight is when I'm actually competing in a powerlifting competition. Which, by the way, I have failed. As a matter of fact, right now, with all that has gone on this year, I have neglected my body in ways that I never intended to because of my schedule, my time, all of that. I just literally just sacrificed my body for the success of my kids. That's what I did. But, and when I say that, that doesn't mean I didn't work out at all. It just means I didn't work out with the level of intensity and that I know and that I'm accustomed to doing. Because this year required me to do it. And I'm paying for it. I'm not as nimble and quick and explosive as I was just a year ago. Even with my hip surgery, which was another setback. Powerlifting, get over 1,000 pounds at 148 pounds. All of that was going on, and then boom, labral tear in my hip. Did I just lay back and cry and, you know, I promise you I didn't cry once. I didn't feel emotional about that once. I was frustrated, but I wasn't emotional because I knew how much more I could have achieved if I had just stayed healthy. But you know what I did then? When I knew I was going to have this surgery, I embraced the challenge of this surgery and that I was not going to be the average patient. I just wasn't. I refused to use my crutches for over a month. I refused to be that person limping into the building to go get physical therapy. I refused to be a person that laid in his bed because it hurt so much. I just refused. And because of my tenacity, because of my willingness to go through things, I was actually cleared in 10 months as opposed to 12. To be honest with you, they would have probably cleared me in 8. But they just wanted to make sure that I didn't put myself in a compromising position to where I can re-injure myself because, what's his name? Alex Rodriguez, at one point in time, tore his labrum just like I did. But then he went so hard in his rehab, he tore it again. And my doctor had to remind me not to be that aggressive. Be smart, but don't be so aggressive that you end up back at his table. Because that's what we both didn't want. So with my background, with my knowledge, with my skills, I managed to, because I also have a rehabilitation background, so I didn't necessarily need to, all I needed to know what was my physical therapist plan. And once I knew what my physical therapist plan was with me, all systems would go. I walked into my physical therapy appointment, and when he looked at me, he literally said, "You were not what I was expecting. I was expecting a 46-year-old man with hip surgery to be on crutches walking into my facility. You are walking." True story. 3rd day, off crutches. I started using one of my wife's canes. After 7 days, I stopped using canes. I was walking under my own power. Was I running and jumping? Absolutely not. I'm not even going to fake the funk on that. But what I will tell you is I pushed myself. I challenged myself to not use those crutches. I was off hydrocodone on day 2. I was off on the serious pain meds on day 2. My ibuprofen, my muscle relaxers, those kept me a little bit, the medication that stopped my muscle spasms, I was still on that for a little while longer. I was on the ibuprofen and the Tylenol a lot longer. But what I will tell you is I did not allow myself to fall back into desperation and, ineptitude. So, let me see what Torchman is telling me right now. Finding the limit of failure and overcoming that limit through great effort is such a fulfilling thing that many people can experience if they chase after it. Thank you, sir. I'm proud of my recovery too. But what he said is absolutely 100% true. You don't understand the exhilaration you will feel when you come out the other side. Like I said, this year in terms of education was one of the most challenging, most trying times of my career as a teacher. Even more challenging than my first year. And those of y'all who know me out there in my first year of teaching will tell you it was not my shining moment in education. But I did have victories. And I allowed those victories to cement me enough to know that I have a talent and I have a skill to be an educator. However, I had a lot of work to do, and I was willing to do that work. I was never afraid of the work. At no point in time in my career have I been afraid of the work. I do the work every time. My colleagues will tell you, my friends will tell you, I will do the work. The one thing, so to go back to what do you do when you fail? Just get up. Nobody's asking you to, when you lose your job, become an overnight millionaire. That's not realistic. And that's not fair to you. And that's not fair to anybody else. If you end up becoming obese, nobody's expecting you to have a Miss Olympia or Mr. Olympia body in a matter of months. If people are expecting that from you, to hell with them. Lizzo, I've talked about Lizzo on this channel, and I've never been disrespectful. Just to make sure y'all understand, for those of y'all who are new to the channel, I've never been disrespectful about Lizzo's physical conditions. I've even been fair enough to say Lizzo is fit but not healthy, right? And in recent months, Lizzo has decided to lose weight, to be healthy. And believe it or not, she's quite close to her goal weight. I've already said this in fairness, she is a naturally large woman. She ain't gonna be no stick figure. She's just not. That's not being hateful and that's not being derogatory. I'm just stating fact. As a professional, she is not going to be a stick figure. She is going to be a larger than average woman. But I guarantee you, she can be healthy and she is on her freaking way. And I am beyond proud of her for being able to do that. People are being hateful and trying to throw shade on her and talking about she's an Ozempic baby and this, that, the other. And I'm not one for that because, number one, I can tell she's not on Ozempic. Have you seen her work out? She can work out. I watched that woman jog on a treadmill and start singing her songs. I'm not saying she's jogging at a, 8-minute mile, but she's still jogging. She's still moving and singing on key, not out of breath. She does those jump squats and all of that. She could do it. Even at her largest, she could do it, which let me know she was fit. But she didn't let the failures of her diet or the failures of her mindset stop her from achieving what she has already achieved, both in music and in health. It is an amazing thing when people turn around and go out of their way, not to do it because they're trying to show you, to hell with you. They're trying to show themselves that they can do this. And every time you fall and bump your head, every time you fall and scrape your knee, every time you fall and get catastrophic and break your back, damn it, get up. Don't stop. Don't fall by the wayside, because guess what? All those haters out there, that's when they win. You disappear, you go away, that's when they win. You go away on your own terms. If you want to go away, fine. That's your personal choice. But don't go away because of the haters. Don't go away because somebody said you're not enough. Don't go away because somebody turned around and is talking trash about you behind your back. Or in front of your face, for that matter. As a matter of fact, I appreciate it when you turn around and talk trash in front of my face, because I know exactly who to look for when I win. When I hold up that championship belt, when I hold up that trophy, when I hold up that medal, when I hold up, when I hold it up, when I hold up that certificate, when I hold up that license, when I hold up that degree, that's, I'm coming to show you, especially you, that I got it. You didn't stop me. You didn't win. You didn't beat me. You might have slowed me down, but you didn't stop me. There's a lot of people I would like to thank when that happens. And make no mistake about it, when the time comes, I will mention you by name. All of you. By name. I will mention you and tell you, thank you. Not because you were an amazing influence, not because you were instrumental in my success, but because you reveled in my failure. You're taking great joy, pride even, in my failures. Because I've had setbacks in the military, but I also had some wins. Massive wins. Highest PT score in my unit. Highest PT score in my company. At the age of 21. I did 115 push-ups, 96 sit-ups, ran 2 miles in 12 minutes and 45 seconds. You ain't talking to a slouch. Ran a 4.45 40-yard dash, trying out for a semi-pro football team. Was bench pressing 225 pounds at 135 pounds. I was doing all of that. But what you don't know is that I failed to get there. You know how many times I missed, I didn't run a certain amount of time? There's a certain person that this guy, I'm not going to say his name because out of respect for his privacy, but we were in the military together. And this young man turned around. He was much bigger than I was. And I'm talking about just height and size. He was maybe about 5'9", 220 pounds of rock solid, ungodly muscle. And that man could run. You hear me? And I thought I could run, but he could run. He would literally just go out and just run just for the hell of it. And I was like, I run because I have to. And I run fast because I don't like running. Right? And, but he was like, yeah, but what happens when you have to give it to your girl? You gonna tuck her out, buddy? 30 seconds in? You gonna pass out? Take a nap? What you gonna do? Because guess what? Every mile you run is another 20 minutes of good loving. That's what he said to me. And I had to laugh, but then I had to think about it. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall, 135 pounds. What do I have to offer a woman? What do I have to offer? At that time, I was 135. I'm not 135 now. But I was like, I'm going to get looked over. I better have other attributes that I could deliver, that I could look her in the face and guarantee it and not feel some type of way about it. So I began to run with him. I ran hard. That man ran me for 4 miles, nonstop. Every weekend, we ran 4 miles. And the beautiful thing was, I got better. I got faster. I got stronger. But those moments where I stopped for a second, put my hands on my knees, and he was like, come on, no more bills. Long strokes, let's go. God, he's so stupid. And then all of a sudden, just the snap, ran. I appreciated him for that. Because when I moved on to my next unit and people were challenging me and I knew I could outlast them in a run, don't pull on Superman's cape, buddy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. You ain't gonna like it. And I succeeded. But the reason why I was successful is because I knew I failed. To those of you who might be students of mine, former students of mine, you've heard me tell you about my failures. Because the one thing y'all can't say is, even though you know I've talked about my successes, I talk about my failures all the time. I never hid that from y'all, and I will never hide it from y'all. Because I don't want y'all to think that success comes because you have it going on at all points in times, every day, every time, without fail. No, absolutely not. You don't get to where I've gotten to by just being good. You have to fail. Even if you're stupid intelligent, the smartest thing walking, you're going to fail. The question is what do you learn from that failure? How are you going to develop from that failure? For my people that are now watching, do me a favor, put a like in this video so that way this algorithm thing gets this information that I'm putting out and more people get to see it and experience the joy that is Stoutt Fitness. To all my Stoutsiders out there, do me a huge favor and do that for me. Put a like in the chat. Or put a like for the video. And if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor and do that as well, because again, that way you'll get all the information that I put out. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I can't succeed for you. I can't succeed for you. You have to succeed for yourself. You have to recognize your weaknesses and stare them in the face. The hardest thing to do is stare your weaknesses in the face and then do something about them. I think that's where the real fight is. You're the type of person that likes to quit, likes to give up, likes to fall by the wayside. If that's who you are, and you know that's who you are, you better look yourself in the mirror and call you out and tell you stop being a punk. Get your behind up. He's going to hit you again. You better take it. You better eat it and hit him harder. And that's a euphemism. That's not necessarily a necessity for an actual physical fight, but yeah, it works in a physical fight too. You better get up, quit running. He's gonna hit you. What are you gonna do about it now? Okay, you lost. Cool, you lost. Fine. Now what? You gonna take your blocks and go home? You gonna cry in your milk? I mean, you're gonna have to do some of that anyway. But that's all you're gonna do? And then leave? Never to be seen again, never to be heard from again? Only time anybody's gonna hear from you is when some reporter or some journalist turns around and decides to find out, well, what happened to that dude that got his behind whipped? I want to know what happened to him. Do you know where he lives? Do you know where he is? Do you know how he's doing right now? I want to know. And ain't nothing worse than if you turn around and you open the door and you're still crying in your milk about that butt whooping that you took however many months, weeks, years ago. Ain't nothing worse than that. I know there's people out there that turn around and have known me for some time. And when I say know me, they may not know me personally, but they know of me for some time and are looking at me going, yeah, I didn't like that dude. I know it. For whatever reason it was, I know it wasn't me personally. Because I've had to even look inside myself and recognize that I am a decent dude. I'm not mean. Not in the sense where I'm just vindictive and I just want to make people miserable. Absolutely not. But there's some people that have received me in such a way where that's what they think that I am. Cool. Is that a failure of mine? Probably. Can I be better? Yes. Will I be better? You're damn right I am. But am I going to roll over in desperation to prove it to you? No. Absolutely not. The only person I have anything to prove to is myself. That I can be what I say I am. Outside of being 6'5", I can't say I'm 6'5". That ain't gonna work. But in truth, now is the time to accept your failures. Look whoever or whatever you failed at in the eye and call it out. Cowardice is not experiencing fear. Cowardice is experiencing fear and doing nothing about that fear. And one of the biggest things that I refuse to be is a coward. I don't know the Shannon Sharpe situation in full detail, but what I will say is I respect him for getting on camera and saying what he needed to say for himself. Whether we like it, agree with it, or not. Whether he's guilty or innocent is not, at this point, my concern. That will all come out and that will all become public knowledge eventually, right? But my point is, he didn't shrink in the face of this quote unquote scandal that he's in right now. He didn't shrink. He sat in the same seat he always sits in. He looked into the very same camera he always looks in, and he said what he felt he had to say. Stephen A. Smith, like him or hate him. When he tells you what he thinks, how he feels, or what is, he doesn't blink. He's not afraid to call himself out if he's wrong. He really isn't. He really isn't afraid to tell you exactly what is the agenda, so to speak. For the simple fact that he could beef with LeBron the way he's beefed with him recently and still state facts about him as a basketball player, objective facts about him, with no fanfare, with no hesitation. He doesn't even look like he's, throwing up in his mouth as he says it. He just says it. I gotta respect him for that. Yeah, he's beefing with him, and yeah, he says some really nasty stuff about Stephen A. and played, try to play him for stupid. And Stephen A. did the very same thing in certain instances. But what I will say is that he does not blink when he says whatever it is that he needs to say. Because yes, getting cussed out in the middle of a Laker game is an L. It's a failure, right? That is a failure. Is it a detrimental failure to his success? Absolutely not. But what he is doing is he addressed that situation. He explained himself. He even challenged you to look everything up. If you did or not, that's up to you. If you some people will formulate their opinions and will not go back and look at the truth objectively, even if it was hitting him in the face. That's not his job and that's not his responsibility. His job and his responsibility is to tell the truth. Whether it's as he sees it, whether it's his opinion, or whether it's absolute bona fide fact. That's his job. As your personal trainer, as your teacher, as your educator, your fitness educator, I am here to take the fear out of fitness. I want you to look yourself in the face and not be afraid of the journey that you have to go on in order to get to the other side and show everybody your failure. Show everybody your failure. You got a little love handle here and there? Sure. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? You got six-pack abs? Cool. How many times did you fail to get there? You got a bird chest? Okay, what are you going to do about it? You got bulletproof pecs? How much did you fail to get there? This is part of the reason why I don't like BBLs. This is part of the reason why I don't like certain levels of cosmetic surgery. So, for those of y'all, if you were once obese and you shrunk down and you want to get cosmetic surgery to reset your skin, I have no problems with that. If you've been doing your squats and your Bulgarian split squats and your lunges and your leg extensions and your leg curls and your squats and your box jumps and everything like that, and now you got a little junk in the trunk, but there's a little sag in there too. You want to turn around and get rid of that skin because of the hard work that you've put in to improving your fitness and improving your body? I have no problem with that. But that BBL stuff is you trying to hide your failure. That's not you. That's not you at all. And then to make matters worse, your body might reject the BBL and your booty stinks. We've talked about that on this show already. Smelling like Charon or carry-on. Feeling like something that vultures would jump on. Woman turned around and had to say that she brought perfume and air freshener with her everywhere she went because when she sat down on the toilet, the stench was unbearable. Lost her relationship over it. For what? To try to impress people you don't like. To try to impress people who don't give a damn about you. To try and show off for people who aren't even paying you any attention. Now that's a failure. Now the question is what are you going to do about that failure? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to pretend like that's your booty when you got ant legs attached to it? Them thighs ain't matching. We know them thighs ain't matching. As a matter of fact, telltale sign. Thighs ain't matching. Booty too big. Thighs is too skinny. Your thighs about the size of your calves, but you got a BBL. Trying to impress somebody because you don't like the way you look. So instead of you failing your way into fitness, you rather try to take the cheap, easy way out. And even though it's expensive, it's still the cheap, easy way. Whereas somebody sees your body for what it is, and it's your hard work and your dedication to your failure, people will turn around and respect you that much more. Whether you care about their admiration or not. I'm going to land this plane. You have a unique opportunity every single time you fail to get up. Pope Francis fell ill, gravely ill, mind you. Double pneumonia with kidney failure. The man fought hard to recover. And in his fight for his recovery, the man did the most gangster thing I've ever seen anybody do, athlete or non-athlete. The man got up, did his normal every year Easter ceremony, went amongst the people, prayed for their healing, and then went home, only to pass away in his sleep from a stroke. He didn't turn around and say, "Oh, I'm too sick. I can't go out there and face the people. Oh, I look so bloated. Oh my God, I can't face the people. Oh my God, I'm so old. I can't face the people." His illness did not stop him. He said, "Guess what? I'm still coming. Until God tells me to stop, I'm going to keep going." And on Monday morning, after Easter service, God told him, it's time to stop. That's not a failure. The show is over. Guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening. Shout out to Torchman for chatting with me on this windy Wednesday evening. Shout out to all of the people in my life that have watched me fail and rooted for my success. Shout out to my grandmother who turned 100 years old just yesterday. I wish I was there. I really do. But we got to get through all of this. To my students, my past students specifically, who have managed to be successful and graduate despite the failures that I've witnessed myself with them, I'm proud of you. I struggled with you to help get you to the other side. I didn't do all the work. You did the heavy lifting yourself as well. We did it together. To my current students who I've watched fail, you have a unique opportunity to look yourself in the face and fail some more. And if I don't have the opportunity to teach you next year, remember what I taught you. Not just the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, but even the things that I'm telling you now. To my colleagues, to the people that experienced failure, not only today, but yesterday and days before that. Keep your head up. You're going to be great because I saw the greatness in you myself. I think you're great. Even when others are telling you that you're not. I know you are. And to my wife, who said that I was great, she herself is great in her own right. And I'm looking forward to experiencing your failures that much more, because next week is our anniversary. Okay? "16 years of failing together. And I hope I get to see you fail that much more." So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube and TikTok. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is stout.